A boy whose dark past haunts him now and then attends the Kuryu Academy entrance ceremony. This school is specifically for students who have harnessed the power of the soul to materialize a weapon. Tooru is awestruck by Julie Sigtuna, a white-headed exotic beauty, until a bubbly Imari Nagakura interrupts his trance-like state and informs him that she, too, will be attending the ceremony. Just as their friendship begins to blossom, they are ordered to duel one another as an aptitude test, and the loser is ordered to leave the academy premises following the requirements. Imari and Tooru engage in combat. Imari fires her blaze and declares that she will not miss a hit on Tooru. She ignores him 3 times for being the stereotypical good guy. Today, he throws in the towel, giving Imari the victory. A sword flies towards the two, prompting Tooru to unleash his irregular blaze. Imari, who insists on not having an easy win, launches a final strike at Tooru, who responds with a unique but dangerous move that ends Imari's pursuit of defeating Tooru. During his first class, Tooru is sitting next to Julie, staring at him until her homeroom teacher, Rito Tsukimi, walks in. Rito has done the word kawaii justice with her bunny ears and cheerful demeanor. She announces that the academy will employ a unique duo system in which students will be expected to work and live in pairs. Tooru is temporarily partnered with Julie, who has developed feelings for him. Tooru had the opportunity to sleep with Julie. Tooru and Julie are joined at breakfast by Tomo and Miyabi, whose bosoms show more personality than her character. Miscommunications occur between Tomo and Tooru after Julie inadvertently announces that she slept with Tooru, unknowingly creating a false impression of Tooru. Tomo labels Tooru a pervert, and rumors of Tooru and Julie's relationship spread. Tooru informs Julie sheepishly that sleeping together has more than one meaning. During the training session, Julie dispels Tomo's doubts about Tooru, and Tomo kneels in front of Tooru, profusely apologizing, unwittingly sparking more rumors about Tooru's character. The point of this episode is finally reached when Julie and Tomo engage in combat, each displaying their battle skills. The day has come for the students to choose a duo. Tooru asks his longtime friend Torasaki to duo up with him. Still, just as they're about to recite the oath that will legitimize their status as duos, Tooru notices Tomo and Miyabi approaching him after seeing Julie's absence. Tooru apologizes to Tomo for being with Miyabi when she was supposed to be with Julie. Tomo informs Tooru that she turned down Julie because she wanted to work with Miyabi. Torasaki gives Tooru an understanding nod, and Tooru rushes to find Julie. Tooru comes across Julie at the top of a clock tower, where they share an intimate moment hand in hand. Tooru and Julie take the oath, formalizing their relationship. Rito Tsukimi informs her students about the upcoming Blaze battle after the duos have been made official, giving them time to sharpen their battle skills. Tooru and Julie are seen breaking out in sweat later at the stadium during their intense training session. Tooru discovers Miyabi, who has tired from running with her massive bosom. Tooru picks her up and carries her back to her dormitory after she collapses. On the way, she wakes up and is encouraged to keep working on her strength by Tooru. In the late afternoon, the action finally begins. The teams have 2 hours to eliminate the other groups. Tooru and Julie defeat the other duos and continue to write until they meet Tomo and Miyabi. As Miyabi is swiftly taken down by Tooru, Tomo's back must be hurting from carrying the entire fight alone. Meanwhile, Julie defeats Tomo and accepts defeat like a true fighter. The episode takes an exciting turn when Tooru and Julie notice Torasaki and his partner on the verge of unconsciousness. Rito approaches Tooru and Julie, pretending to be innocent, until Torasaki mumbles that it's a trap and that the widow is the reason for their predicament. With a wicked smile, Rito explains that she must eliminate the weaker links, whom Rito mocks for weakness. Tooru has a flashback from his past that inspires him to take down Rito. Rito teaches him that destroying the blaze can seriously harm your opponent's soul. Tooru takes advantage of this information and destroys Rito's blaze, winning the battle. The following day, Tooru and Julie make their way to the classroom, where everyone has gathered. Torasaki expresses his gratitude after realizing that Tomo and Miyabi cared for him and his partner after Rito annihilated them. The group is taken aback to see Rito back in class, who appears to be back to her usual adorable self. They bring the matter to Sakuya, who seems unconcerned by their complaints. Sakuya clarifies that she is okay with Rito's unconventional teaching methods as long as they result in talented duos. The group, depressed by their headmaster's decision, returns to the classroom, and a blonde girl walks in. She introduces herself as Lilith Bristol, a transfer student from England, and requests a private meeting with Tooru. Tooru discovers Lilith has an irregular blaze. She bosses Tooru around and orders him to duo with her, but Tooru quickly rejects him. When Tooru and Julie go shopping, we glimpse the city, with Tomo and Miyabi suspiciously lurking behind them. Trouble comes in the form of delinquent boys who harass Tomo and Miyabi until Tooru rushes to their aid, but before he can act, Lilith appears out of nowhere, knocking the boys out with her rifle. Tooru is perplexed to learn that Lilith's blaze is a rifle. Tooru and his friends advance to level 2 after the blaze battle, increasing their durability and strength. Tooru's mind has been racing with questions ever since Lilith showed off her unusual blaze and gained the upper hand. Tooru must accompany Lilith to Deathland, a theme park, to overcome his curiosity. Initially portrayed as having a superiority complex, Lilith has long been replaced by an enthusiastic girl excited to explore the theme park with someone she believes is just like her. She drags Tooru to every ride until he is completely exhausted. As night falls, Lilith tells Tooru about her blaze, which she has had since childhood. Lilith was a big fan of firearms. Lilith smiles as she recalls a younger Lilith playing with guns. Fireworks erupt around the two as Lilith declares that she knew Tooru would be compatible with her after learning about his unusual blaze. Lilith extends her hand to Tooru and asks him to rejoin her duo. When Tooru returns, it's past the academy's curfew. Julie sneaks him in, and Tooru apologizes for returning so late. Tooru informs Julie that he declined Lilith. Julie thanks Tooru for choosing her and gives him an intimate hug after receiving a slap. The following day, Rito announces that the first-year students will compete against the second-year students. Lilith steps forward to battle the entire class of students alone, armed only with her trusted rifle, completely overwhelming the whole group. Lilith is looking forward to a showdown with Tooru. When Tooru finally confronts Lilith, he sincerely apologizes for turning her down twice and expects Lilith to fight him to the best of her ability. Lilith takes on Tooru's entire team without tiring or breaking a sweat. Steady winds have made Lilith a little cocky, which Tooru and Julie plan to exploit by luring her into an elaborate trap. When Tooru is hit by a real bullet, men armed to the teeth surround Lilith, Tooru and his companions, and the blonde foreman reveals that they've come for Lilith. The group immediately raises their guards as they return to combat position, but Miyabi is apprehended by the blonde in command. Lilith motions for everyone to step back as she agrees to accompany the armed men like a damsel in distress. Miyabi begins to cry. Tooru comforts her, assuring her that she will soon greet Lilith with open arms and a big smile. Tooru rushes to rescue Lilith after regaining consciousness. He summons all of his strength and destroys the bridge, freeing Lilith from her captors. The Blood Man emerges from the ruins and speaks with a mysterious man on call who appears to be looking for the diabolical after wreaking havoc. Tooru is wrapped in bandages and surrounded by friends when love strikes. Lilith declares her intention to marry Tooru. Kuryu Academy students are on a ship heading to an island for camping. Rito, their demonic teacher with bunny ears, declares that the students will swim to the island. As Julie cannot swim, Tooru transports her on his back, and Lilith makes her grand entrance by leaping from her helicopter into the sea. She swims towards Tooru, approaching him dangerously close. Julie is bothered by her closeness to Tooru, telling Lilith to back off after their strenuous swim. They eventually make it to the island, where they are attacked. Veiled attackers surround the trio in minutes, but it's not just Tooru, Lilith, and Julie who have been shot. When Tooru is cornered, Tomo and Miyabi are seen fighting the same group of people. Miyabi has flashbacks of her time with Tooru, which gives her the confidence to confront her attackers. She swings her blaze and defeats her opponents, saving Tomo. On the other hand, Julie and Lilith combine their fighting abilities. As Tooru is about to punch one of the attackers, her veil comes undone, revealing a familiar face. She is Imari. She informs Tooru that those who did not pass the screening process were offered a position in another branch of Kuryu Academy and that this attack was part of their combined training. The episode concludes on an unusual note, with the blonde from the previous episode seen conversing with a mysterious old man. This episode departs from the typical training sessions depicted in previous episodes. When Miyabi invites Tooru to hang out with the girls on the beach, his life takes a very saucy turn. Julie and Lilith spend most of their time together, attempting to cement their roles in Tooru's life. Imari appears to be the only one who notices Miyabi's change. Miyabi finally has some alone time with Tooru, and the aesthetics of this sweet and sentimental moment take hold. Miyabi confesses her feelings for Tooru, which surprises him. Tooru takes a step towards Miyabi when he is suddenly gripped by a traumatic flashback from his past, which turns the otherwise happy moment tragic. As anticipated, Tooru rejects Miyabi, who is understandably devastated by the rejection and runs away crying. Kei, who despises that name, attacked at the end of the island, returning to the fast pacing and action. This episode is jam-packed with fight scenes between the rebels that far outnumber. The rebels have a numerical advantage, and their strength has been improved. The two teams were able to keep them at bay for a while, but it is Professor who ultimately saves the day by unleashing her supreme strength on the rebels. Despite her hellish alter ego, the lady can kick some asses. Lilith appears alongside Sakuya, who seems to have predicted the rebels' attack. Despite Lilith's valiant efforts to save Sakuya, the blonde from previous episodes breaks through the door and captures her, aka Blaze Diabolica. Tooru isn't in the spotlight as much as he usually is, but after the attack on Sakuya, he rushes to an injured Lilith, who begs Tooru to return Sakuya safely with Julie by his side. Tooru sets out to rescue Sakuya, who is on a boat with the blonde. Tooru and Julie attempt to dethrone Blondie, but his attacks are far too powerful. We see Julie's backstory, in which a young, distraught Julie is in the snow with her deceased father by her side. Julie rises with overwhelming power surrounding her just as Blondie is about to land a fatal blow on Tooru. She runs at the speed of light towards Blondie, giving him the beating of a lifetime. Blondie receives another call from the same mysterious caller, asking him to leave. As he walks away, he reveals his name is Kei and promises a reunion. Tooru and his friends are on the lookout for Miyabi. Rito informs the students that they are leaving the island, leaving no room for debate as they are leaving the island. Imari, shaken by Miyabi's disappearance, promises Tooru that she will lead the search for Miyabi from now on. Tooru is off balance while sparring on the surface with Tomo. Tomo appears calm and collected but is affected by Miyabi's absence, which Lilith later notices. Recurring nightmares from his past haunt Tooru. Julie comforts him by wrapping her arms around him as he jolts up. Headmistress Sakuya summons Tooru to her office and rewards him with a level 4 sublimation. Tooru is hesitant because he believes Julie saved both Tooru and Sakuya. Sakuya reminds Tooru of his motivation for enrolling in the academy to gain power and asks him to consider the offer. Guards are eagerly lining up for the rain conference at the academy's courtyard, level 3. Tooru and Julie inquire about equipment with Lilith. Lilith explains that one of the prominent members is Edward Smith, and the subject of this conference is the Absolute Duo. The meeting begins with Edward's petition to join forces, with each Rain member insulting his advances. Sakuya enrages Edward, who challenges him to a killing game. Miyabi reappears, having accepted Equipment Smith's malicious power, transforming her into an embodiment of both rebel and exceeds. She appears in a trance, excited to kill everyone in her path, including Tooru and her duo. Tomo assures her friends that she will allow Miyabi to attack her. Meanwhile, Tooru and Julie face off against Kei, who despises Tooru for his determination to protect Julie. Behind this uncalled-for hatred is a deep-seated trauma. Miyabi and Tomo are fighting each other at the same time. Despite being bloodied and bruised, Tomo is determined to break Miyabi's hypnotic state. Miyabi claims that Tomo never met her true self. She admits that her desire to become strong stems from her love for Tooru. With words of affirmation and a tight slap on Miyabi's face, Tomo declares how she has always believed in Miyabi's strength. Tomo successfully recreates the Miyabi we all know and love. Picking up the fight sequence of Tooru and Julie versus Kei, we see that Julie has been walloped by Kei, and today, overcome by anger and distress, he rushes in to protect her as his solemn duty. Tooru infuses the level 4 formula into his body, gaining supreme strength through brute force. Tooru throws Kei to the ground after tasting defeat in front of the Rain Conference members. Sakuya humiliates Edward by viciously scolding and beating Kei, who responds by putting his entire hand through Edward's chest. Sakuya style, with Kei playing a deranged villain, the episode ends on a cliffhanger without even a sigh of relief. Tooru and Julie are back in battle with Kei, who has returned with upgraded powers and a thirst for vengeance. The classic fight sequence takes place. Julie is beaten into submission by Kei. Tooru, in an attempt to save Julie from Kei's assault, he puts his life on the line to protect her, allowing Kei to push his weapon inside Tooru's guts, spilling blood. Tooru is knocked to the ground. Julie is overcome with rage after witnessing Tooru's fragile state, resulting in the dark power within her. Julie fights Kei, intending to send him to his grave. With a surge of dark energy, she attacks Tooru, who appears to be walking towards Julie. He tries to soothe her with soothing words, oblivious that Julie is hitting him. Julie regains her normal state thanks to Tooru's care. Kei rises from the ashes again, delivering his final, fatal blow. Toro finishes Kei once and for all with his shield and Julie's sword as the dust settles over a cup of tea. The following day, Lilith informs Tooru about Kei, aka Kevin, who lost his brother and was later sold to Edward. Later that day, Julie, unfazed by her revelations, reveals the source of her dark powers to Tooru. Tooru promises Julie that he will always protect her, and they both renew their oaths, which bind them together as a duo. Thanks for watching. If this series is the most liked in my anime recap production, I will make a part 2. Also, if you haven't yet, please subscribe to help me make more content.